All right, it's gonna be a noisy live stream because I left the air conditioning on. It's like turn it off. There's no point in turning it off. Now we're taking it out. We're taking it out. So we're gonna rely on noise reduction technology.
AI
to take this. And no.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Just plain old software. So apologies for the live stream. So listen on your favorite podcast app or on the Patreon RSS if you'd like a cleaner version of this. So we're a little rumbly in the background there. So I apologize for that. But yes, anyhow, what a rough start. So how's it going?
Things are going.
Good.
That's about it. Things are going. Yesterday, my order from Pendragon UK of all my 3mm MDF bases for my Triumph armies showed up. Because there's only so much. Of course, painting and stuff is important, but there's if you can't base anything, you're well, that's
yeah.
I just gotta wait on this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Japan Post opened it.
Oh yeah.
It's just this brown kind of paper bag, kind of bulky, but all it says is MDF or fiberboard game pieces. You really had to open it for that?
Yeah. I had a funny thing. One of the boxes I shipped back from the U.S., I just threw in a little bag of glass beads, just little tokens. I didn't even think about it. I mean, I didn't really need it. I have enough here
At
already.
the end of moving, you're just I don't care what it is. It goes in the box,
it's in the box. And they customs opened it and they crushed one to make sure that it wasn't filled with whatever, laboratory chemicals or whatever.
Some kind of,
So they opened it and then they had to retape it all back. But then they had one in a little Ziploc bag that they had crushed to make sure that it, they tested it with some kind of, chemical or something. But wow, they must get some.
They had to make sure
stuff.
It wasn't some kind of I don't know, illegal drug infused candy lozenge or something.
Yeah, it was very funny. Yeah, I hadn't seen them do something that extreme before. You get the things retaped. They open stuff.
A lot of my stuff gets retaped, right?
Yeah, and I think they're watching much more carefully because I'm getting a lot of import taxes and a lot of stuff have really gotten more common, more frequent in Japan. So things are opened and you get the little slip with the extra.
I've been lucky where so far, there's no wood around here. I have not been taxed on anything beyond the kind of, it's not the vendor's fault, just the price of shipping is what it is, but apart from rather high international shipping, I've not had to pay any extra stuff.
And I've gotten a lot of big Kickstarters and stuff, so maybe I'm on the list. Maybe they're
the list, right?
This
well,
address.
Let's be honest, we're already on the list. We're foreigners in Japan. We are on the list, right?
Yes.
Now you're just on the bad foreigners list.
Yeah, right. Let's make sure that he pays his fair share.
He also doesn't pay for NHK.
Yeah, right. Peel that sticker off. So I noticed somebody thought it was fit to kick you off of a certain platform.
Despite not using it in close to a year.
Right.
My Twitter account, X account, has been permanently suspended for unauthentic activity. I have no idea what that means. What it does mean is I can't even log on to deactivate the damn thing.
Oh, wow. It's just kind of locked down.
Well, it's very bizarre. It says, okay, you can't take certain actions. And I'm like, okay, fine. Well, then screw you. I'll just deactivate it, go through the thing of changing my password, do all that stuff. That is a prohibited activity. I'm like, so a suspended account means you can't even go and just kill it. I suppose, to be very charitable, the reason is so that you can't just make a brand new account with a new email with exactly the same handle, right? I suppose, but it's still.
I see. Yeah, it keeps it blocked.
Yeah.
So your inauthenticity is going to be immortalized, memorialized forever,
unless it gets appealed. I appealed it and I said, look, I haven't logged on, done anything in close to a year. Please turn it back on for the sole purpose of me deactivating it. We'll see what happens. That's the excitement.
I'm sure they'll do, but sure, why not?
I
funny. Yeah.
Refrain from cursing in that email.
Oh, good.
Thing, right?
That's good.
Anyway.
Yeah, they're very funny. Yeah, that's quite a thing they got there. That
is quite a thing they've got there, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, well, good to see everybody in the chat. Abyss and Calerion and Matt. Hey. Yeah, so we're going to be up to some... Oh, and Orcus. Hey, Orcus Dorcas.
Yes, we will possibly be touching the evil genius shenanigans. I noticed the box is right there.
Oh, yes.
Right there.
Yes. We're going to talk about that. We're going to be talking about that. And, so that will come up. And, and we will be, for our actual play, tomorrow, going back to Dragonbane
Oh,
and revisiting the pre-gens, because Dragonbane just released another free kind of quick start adventure. And this one is, I think, kind of made for conventions because they have a scoring system. So if there's like multiple groups playing it at the same time, you can like see who scores the best.
Or you can play it again and see if you do better.
Oh, right. There you go. And so it's kind of a convention made thing, but it seems like it'll be a good like single session. So yeah. And
I downloaded that as well. I haven't had a chance to read it though.
It's fun. It'll be fun to go back to those characters because they had a lot of fun just with those pre-gen characters. So we'll level them up a little bit and see what happens.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because it's got the same kind of mechanic as the BRP. You the stuff that you rolled the criticals on, you get to try to improve. So
I'll talk to you after you play it.
Okay.
But with that kind of system,
Mm-hmm.
I will be curious to know whether it encourages people to use skills that they wouldn't normally use for the situation because you want to level them up.
Right. Well, yeah, that was definitely BRP. I definitely was maybe too aware of that. Both RuneQuest and Call of Cthulhu, I was like paying attention to that. Oh, this sucks. I should try to do that. I should try to roll on this as much as possible. So that does. I think this one it's a little bit lighter, and it's much less often. That it happens because it's only for the if you roll a 1, basically if you roll a dragon.
Okay.
So that's when you get your tick, and then you try to roll over. But if it's a high stat anyhow, it's very unlikely.
Yeah, right.
But we'll give that a shot. Yeah, because we've got magic items from the first adventure, the Rittermund adventure, and we'll do some leveling up and a new character. Then we'll have a new player. So yeah, keep an eye out for that.
Wow, sending out the notification on Blue Sky really does not look good on camera. It's like.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah.
Yes. So we'll be up to that tomorrow at our usual time, about this time.
Nice.
And so let's get to it for this week. Touch on all that good stuff.
Sure.
All right. Welcome to the Weekly. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Chris.
And this week on the Weekly, Fate of the Fellowship.
They're all dead.
Yes, pretty much. They're all sick. A Joseph McCullough project update for 2025. So good stuff coming. Evil Genius Games is in the news again. And,
for good stuff, right?
Sure. It was a noble attempt, let's say. And Bitter Chalice by World Anvil. We'll talk about that. So let's start off with Pandemic, right? That Pandemic board game is it's the new Monopoly, right? Because they're just reskinning it with everything. So now it's getting the Lord of the Rings treatment. Yeah. So Fate of the Fellowship is a Middle Earth treatment of Pandemic, and Matt Leacock, at Z-Man Games, is responsible, is working on it, and it's going to drop in June. So a quote, from their press stuff, the Lord of the Rings Fate of the Fellowship will feature thematically rich cooperative gameplay, so players take the roles of the heroes to defend the havens of Middle-earth from advancing shadow troops while helping Frodo evade the hunting Nazgûl as he travels to Mount Doom to destroy the One Ring.
Okay. So it kind of sounds like you're not playing, at least, you might not be playing as the Fellowship?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're just, like, maybe kingdoms or forces,
or something, or you're playing people of the Fellowship and you just happen to not be playing Frodo. Not sure.
Yeah, well, yeah. So they say this. It's designed for 1 to 5 players, 13 playable characters, and then 14 event cards.
Okay,
24 objectives. So 13 players.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I guess, but right. 13 players and some other folks, but all new art, which is cool. But the centerpiece of this project is an 11-inch die tower of Barad-dûr. Yes, just what you need. A replica of Sauron's stronghold.
Like, okay, at least it's a die tower, so it does something. But
you're right. You just have a thing in the middle there.
Don't need it.
Right.
Don't need it.
Yes. So since 2016, there have been several settings. So we've had a Cthulhu Pandemic, World of Warcraft, and Star Wars have all gotten the Pandemic treatment.
You know what else I seen? At the last game day I went to, there was like Fate of the Republic, which was basically Roman Empire. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm kind of on a Roman Empire kick to flip. Like, oh, it's Pandemic rethemed as Roman Empire.
Interesting. Yeah. Wow, they've gotten all into it. Well, so the original designer said, this feels like coming full circle for me, he says. So I started my cooperative games journey playing the Reiner Knizia's Lord of the Rings in 2000. And that game was a major influence on my design of Pandemic. Now, 25 years later, I'm honored to be able to offer my own take on Tolkien's masterpiece of fantasy literature. It's been a long time.
2000 was
25 years ago. Yes, it was.
Okay. Yep.
Yes, we're going to have a lot of brutal anniversaries to deal with. There's another one coming up. So Leacock is going to provide kind of diary-style design updates on the kind of progress of Fate of the Fellowship, if you'd like to follow that along. We're looking at launching in June, and if you want to get a signed early copy, you better get yourself to the UK, because the UK Games Expo, he'll show up and maybe do that.
Oh, nice.
So let's see how that goes. Yeah, so summer launch, and probably the first chance to get your hands on it is UK Games Expo. So speaking of designers that we like, let's find out what this year brings for the Joseph McCullough and Osprey Games relationship there. So the first thing that they were promoting was Harefoot Jousting. So a quick and simple tabletop game. So you play as a team of 3 in a tournament that have seasons, parts of a season, and basically you're jousting halflings.
Yeah. Harefoot jousting. Yeah.
Yes. So there was a quote: "The sportsmanship and a sense of humor are as valuable as skill or luck in this game." So something probably somebody doesn't show up, you got a little extra time. This would be a fun thing to bust out and see what they actually did with it, and so a little bit of fun and something kind of off the usual. But back on track is Frostgrave Death Vector. So Death Vector is going to be 8 new scenarios in the outlaw technology sector for Frostgrave. So be battling cyborg automatons and who are hunting down all organic life. So new campaign elements, including the network, which is a cyberpunk-style hacking system for your games, and there'll be new space encounters, advanced technology, and a full bestiary for this new outlaw technology sector, which will probably be all mechanical nonsense.
Yeah, okay. I like Frostgrave. I like Frostgrave. Even though we actually got a chance to play Frostgrave yet. I'm wondering how they're going to, or if they're going to integrate some kind of hacking, right? Because again, never played it, but like you said, the Infinity games.
Yes, they've got
kind of. It's another way to not play the game, but it's kind of sort of just as important as other aspects of the game. So, I wonder what hacking in the network would feel like in Frostgrave.
Yeah, right.
Is it going to be kind of like? Is it just going to be like, kind of magical effects, basically, or is it actually going to be like a whole little sub game where you might be able to win or lose based solely on what you do on the network?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what it can affect, and what, because the interesting thing in Infinity is if you've got big battle armor, you're a really terrifying, devastating character. But you've got a hacker on the other side of a wall, just like paralyzing you by successfully hacking you every turn. It's it adds a whole new level of I thought we were just going to be blasting each other, but you can actually infiltrate. So that'll be interesting to see what they do with that. So definitely worth taking a look at, and another a good sci-fi element to add. And we also will be getting Frostgrave Advanced Spellcraft. So new rules. Critical success and failures for all the basic spells, and then spell flourishes, which will enhance your magic, but they will drain you. And the ambulance approaches.
The ambulance approaches. Not a spell.
Yes, and that will also give you undesirable consequences. So don't flourish too much. So to gain these new secrets, you'll have to venture into the Biblio Sepulchre, a full new 10-scenario competitive campaign. So and speaking of painful anniversaries, this book celebrates the magic in Frostgrave on its 10th anniversary. We've been playing 10 years of Frostgrave. That's crazy. That still seems like we just started playing.
It does.
Yeah, so 10 years. So we definitely have to do something with Frostgrave this year, because that's fun.
No, agreed. Yeah.
Fun to celebrate. A great game. And it's already gotten a second version as well, second edition.
Thank God they nerfed Bone Dart.
They nerfed
Bone Dart. Thank you.
And finally, we've got the Silver Bayonet is going to Britain. So Bones of Albion. So this will, of course, be the British Isles fully competitive campaign, which will introduce specialist units fighting for or against the French, and who are threatening invasion. So against an invasion against a backdrop of ghosts and revenants. Okay. So yeah, adding more monsters and ghosts and ghouls, but in a now instead of so they did Carpathia. They've done a bunch of different regions now. Yeah,
I think they I forget which ones they just finished, but yeah,
there's a lot of interesting stuff. So so as far as the release schedule, so May we're looking at the Harfoot jousting and Harefoot jousting, sorry, and the Stargrave Death Vector. July will get us the Advanced Spellcraft for Frostgrave, and September of this year, the Bones of Albion for Silver Bayonet.
If you've never played Frostgrave, you have to leave the chat.
It's a rule. It's required. You must leave. All right. So looking forward to that. So to play all these games, we're going to need a lot of energy, and to prep all these games, I'm going to need some focus and all that good stuff. Well, I just happen to have something that may help us. Yes, and now it is a pair. So previously we were talking about just Magic Mind, and Magic Mind being a something that will give you focus and energy, and also reduce stress. And now it's been paired with something that will enhance its effects, because Magic Mind Sleep will give you good sleep. So these are energy shots, or kind of enhancement shots that will help you invest in your mental wealth. So mental wealth is the thing that Magic Mind has been focusing on for the beginning of this year, and talking about just spending time with exercise, stress management, sleep, diet, and exogenous compounds like Magic Mind and Magic Sleep.
I'm kind of coming around to the idea of mental wealth. Right?
All right. Yes. Yes. So this pair is basically 24 hours of mental performance. The sleep shot will give you better sleep and focus for the daytime. So and I've had they've been nice enough to send us each time samples for the sponsorship, and it does have a nice effect. I can't give up my morning coffee, but this definitely augments that first kick of caffeine with a sustained kind of.
So instead of like 5 cups, you're down to like 1.
It's just the one. Thank goodness, because anything beyond that gets a little dicey. Right. So focus, clarity, a sharper mind, less stress, and clean energy. So and the sleep itself too. So one of the main ingredients in the sleep component is magnesium, and that is actually something that does help you settle down. That was always the thing. For getting to sleep, I couldn't quiet my mind and never get to that, okay, here we go, I'm actually going to be able to fall asleep. So I'd turn something on and turn a podcast on or something to help distract me, and it would just keep me awake longer, because then I'd be paying attention. Yep. But the Magic Mind Sleep has definitely been able, I've been able to relax and drift off.
Oh, nice.
In a much nicer way. So it's a nice compliment, and I was worried if that would actually work. The one thing I did notice though is make sure you're getting a decent, if your night is cut short.
Well, that's what my question was.
You're sleeping deeper, so it's a little bit harder to get up in the morning, because you did have a nice restful sleep. So don't cut it short. So along with kind of everything they're talking about, diet, exercise, and everything, this is going to be something that you want to fit into a disciplined schedule, not a reckless, like, I'm going to stay up until 3 and finish this editing.
Right. And then wow. So like you said, you kind of have to plan for it and put it into, like you said, a disciplined kind of schedule.
Right. And to get those results, I think that's important. So so Magic Mind has a special offer for you, and you can see the URL at the bottom here. And one thing that they do offer is a no questions asked full 100% refund.
Nice.
After 100 days after buying. So you have up to 100 days, no questions asked, to get a refund if you're not experiencing the results that you'd like. They ship internationally to 65 countries and are now available at retail. So if you'd like to get 45% off with our code, Magic Mind's bundle of both the sleep and the sleep and the regular boost, 45% off on magicmind.com/upturnpodjan. So that's magicmind.com/upturnedpodjan.
Podcast January.
Yes, right, our January promotion. And that'll give you 45% off of however you want to try it, a sample of 2 weeks. You can get a full month, and a full month can also give you a renewing subscription, which will help you maintain that discount. So, thank you, Magic Mind. Yeah. And back to our regularly scheduled program. Oh, wait, can we do this? I have to do this manually.
Buttons.
No, I didn't make a button. And we're back. So here we go. This is going to be a little bit tough because
okay. So I'm glad you took that magic mark.
Totally, yes. So I'm going to be totally transparent, totally honest with you about during this next little piece here.
Because we never do that.
We're hiding a lot of our dirty laundry. But so a company has reached out to social media users and said, take down this story that's causing us some trouble. And that company was Evil Genius Games. So the publisher of Everyday Heroes is not happy with a couple of articles that appeared on EndWorld. And EndWorld does great journalism about tabletop. And this was one of their really good pieces, which was a deep dive into what's going on with Evil Mind. And so Evil Genius Games. Evil Genius Games was first brought to our attention kind of with the Netflix kerfuffle, where Netflix kind of said, "Here, work on Rebel Moon." Nope, it's ours now. Right. And so they had our sympathy, but then
fair enough. Although why we want to, you know what? Yes, okay, I'll go with that. They had our sympathy for a bit.
Yes, but then employees started leaving the company, and employees started saying things that being unhappy about saying things, or saying things about being unhappy, and then we're saying, well, now I'm being threatened with a lawsuit because I said something. So there was a bit of discord at the company, and people were wondering what was going on. EndWorld did an article called "The Rise and Fall of Evil Genius Games," and they did a timeline and kind of talked about what exactly was frustrating people. A lot of it involved kind of Web3 technologies like blockchain and NFT, kind of, and the investors that they were getting. And I want a redemption arc here. I really want this to work out, but it's not great. So I think in the process of kind of reestablishing themselves, the CEO, Dave Scott, has been personally reaching out to content creators. I've seen several different channels get promotions and materials for Everyday Heroes, and we were one of them. Yes.
So, that's why it's there.
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. So they
can't
actually
see it behind the thing. That is a brick of a book.
That is a big old book. So Dave Scott did reach out in email to us and said, "We'll send you a copy of this. We want to get people to review this and to play this." And I said, "Yeah, because we were already playing Outgunned, and I really want to see."
Good point. Okay.
Yeah, if you can do a generic D20 that is as satisfying as chucking those D6s, and how this would work. So, for sake of comparison, and they did send the book, so we are going to be reviewing it. But at the same time, Dave Scott reached out to some users on Reddit and said, "Hey, you linked to this article on EndWorld, and I would like you to take that down because it's hurting our company." And the kind of heartbreaking thing, though, is the original EndWorld article is not, I think it's in the first page of the results, but all of the Reddit results are first. So it's not even, people aren't even going to EndWorld and sending them the traffic, getting them the ad revenue. They're hitting and seeing the discussion on Reddit first. So that's a little bit frustrating because that's not going to help tabletop news if Reddit is going to be the first place everybody goes. Right. So the Reddit user Calculus Bear received posted a link in 2024 about this article, this original EndWorld article, and Dave Scott did reach out and said, "You got to take this down. You're destroying my company." And it's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I think he needs to, if they are going to do this and are going to say, okay, what our approach may have been a little slimy, and we got caught up because they were getting IPs from big studios to do the official conversion for their Everyday Heroes of big movies, Pacific Rim, The Crow, really
Kong Skull Island wasn't that part of it too? Yeah.
So he was probably dealing with some brand representatives and getting kind of caught up, and we need funding for this. We need to really get this going. And if you get some people talking, you have that at work, right? People talking to you about how Bitcoin is the future, and you need to get as deeply involved in the blockchain with your company.
Escape my life.
Sorry, but I really think they do need to be more transparent and open about, okay, maybe that was a misstep, and I think a lot of gamers are not going to be happy with that approach. So let's take a step back. I thought directly contacting content creators and saying, "Here, we'd like you to take a look at our stuff," was a good step. But contacting people and saying, "Take that down, we don't like it," not even
take that down. Take that down, we don't like it, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, okay. You weren't even, I don't know. You know what? I don't know what happened between Evil Genius Games and EndWorld. I don't know if EndWorld was contacted and asked to take update, rescind, modify, do something with the article. It seems it seems underhanded to contact people who have linked to that article and say, you know what, I would appreciate it if you unlinked from that, right?
Right, but that's the sad thing is, though, Reddit was probably getting most of the traffic, so it would be better to tell a Reddit user to take down that link than to go to the actual article, because then you'd be kind of exposing yourself as, like, especially if you're going to threaten a news platform.
Yeah, you don't want to threaten anybody, right? So, okay,
right.
The correct thing to do is basically what you said, right? Kind of own up to it. Say kind of, okay, any number of things you could say, right? We got caught up in this, blah, blah, blah. We'll try to do better moving forward, and then actually do that.
Follow up on that. Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so some of the things that were a little bit frustrating is they got involved with Alumni Ventures, which is a part of its syndicate that included Blockchain Funders Fund, Hustle Fund, amongst others, that kind of made people a little bit worried. They had a successful so a $400,000 Kickstarter for their original release of Everyday Heroes. Since then, they've released the Armory, which is a little less successful, and the Legendary Bundle was the next one. So they kind of had diminishing returns, and I don't think people have been happy with things. So I think that they really do need to kind of approach gamers and really get the word out and get some enthusiasm and say, we're not going to do that. The things that you suspected we were going to do, we're not going to do that. You're not going to have a Skull Island NFT that you can or an item that you can use in the game as an NFT. So so we'll see what direction they go. But Enworld did talk about this in when they mentioned it on their site as a little bit of the Streisand effect. You kind of brought attention to something that was already going away for you. It was already, people had already forgotten about that a little bit, and reaching out to content creators. People were happy, just happy to see these books and have something they could, a D20 game they could look at and promote that, had some potential, but we'll see. One thing that they are also doing that is Evil Genius Games that I thought was good in support of Everyday Heroes is they're creating their own digital platform for it. So Sidekick is this content, and it's basically something you could subscribe to get digital versions of all of their content, as opposed to and then a discount on the physical goods, and then all VTT, like their own made VTT content for that. And so it's a really modest, kind of like a few dollars a month subscription. But they got to be careful, because anything that then starts to smack of, and you can, and this will be on the blockchain. If it is their own digital platform and you get high quality assets, I think that's a really great idea, because then you otherwise you'd have to rely on the community to be making tokens and maps and things. So if they stay away from that and basically say, we understand your your worries, and we're dealing with that by not going for the fast buck, because I think what we've seen with all of this blockchain based stuff is so much of it is just a rug pull. So much just to get in on this, and you buy this, and thank you, we just made all the money and now it's garbage. So that's a thing to be worried about, and I think that possibly Evil Genius Games could have fallen into themselves. They could have said, oh my god, look at my wallet, my digital wallet has all of this magic numbers, and it's gone. We hope so we will take a look at Everyday Heroes and give it a little bit of comparison to, because this is licensed, these are licensed properties, and Outgunned, you're kind of playing your generic kind of fantasy version of 80s movies. So we'll see kind of how that works, and if it's more satisfying to play, something, or if the mechanics are generic enough that it doesn't really
that would be my thing, right? As someone who always argues that system matters, does Everyday Heroes feel like a pulp kind of action adventure movie, or does it feel like D&D 5e with differently named classes, and that's basically it?
Right. Yes, that's true. So so we'll keep you up to date on that, and hopefully they can kind of use this little moment to
think about what they've done and course correct.
Yes, come back to us with Clean hands.
Or they may have burned their reputation beyond repair.
Yeah, that'd be a shame because they're not a huge company. I mean, they were very ambitious. They were going after kind of a big scale, a big
Flew
presence.
Too close to the sun, the wax, right? Whatever.
Too
that
close
means.
to the IP licensing sun. All right, and lastly, we're gonna get a little bitter with Bitter Chalice. Okay. So a Souls-like fantasy RPG, tabletop RPG, where you will play in the inspired by things like Dark Souls or Bloodborne. Basically fighting big bads and the high chance of dying.
Okay, I want to hear more.
Being resurrected. So this is World Anvil Publishing, who did the Broken Tales, their kind of fantasy, the fairy tale inspired setting. So taking kind of Snow White or Red Riding Hood and twisting it into a setting
beyond recognition.
Yeah, twisting it into a setting for an RPG that had some satisfying and kind of using the same kind of inspiration of European folktale as opposed to European mythology. And so Bitter Chalice looks like a lot of fun. They chose specifically an artist, and I didn't get the name of the artist, but it's got a very unique. One artist is doing the work, all of the artwork for the book, and it's very cohesive and very very different from what they've done before. With their Broken Tales, they did kind of a black, red, and white, kind of very heavy look, and this is it's more. I don't know. It's
dreamy?
A little
Ethereal?
bit like more dreamy, and a little bit like early like Tim Burton illustrations, like that kind of nightmare fantasy
Whimsical.
kind of stuff. Yeah, a little bit more whimsical.
Sorry, grimsical.
Grim and whim.
Yep.
Yes. So a quote from the page that they're promoting. I once lingered at the edge of the Blightlands, near the sealed wall of Valthen, walls raised by the united churches to trap the festering ruin forever. Long ago holy water flowed, and the Edolorius guided its distillation. But wars and ancient forces have since twisted that was once pure. Now the city chokes on madness. So they had a little quick intro to give you a taste of the system and the artwork and everything on the kind of the coming soon Kickstarter page. And it's a 3d6 system, and you basically have like a six attributes that you have a standard stat line that everybody has to just kind of set from between 3 to -1 that you give each of these things to, and they're very basic, like heart and intelligence and kind of explained in those ways. But so it looks like interesting, kind of fun test, but also a bit deadly, like the games that they're inspired by, the Souls like.
I would want to learn. I'd want to learn more because I do not play video games at all, but I am in pop culture enough to know that like Souls like means in a video game you die.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
And then if you have saved correctly, or if you've hit whatever last spawn point, that's where you pop up again. That's a spawn point. And part of the appeal I interpret of these Souls-like game is, damn, I lost again. Get good, right? Like you the player learn how, especially the bosses, act, right?
Right.
And it's dying again and again and again that you're like, okay, this time I've got all the moves down. I know what to do to beat this person. And obviously it's a different medium from when you go to tabletop games.
Right.
And I've seen some other Souls-like games for tabletop that have mechanics that if they don't reward you for dying, they emulate the increasing player knowledge of when you lose, right?
Right.
You get some kind of meta currency or something, and you go back to like a spawn point. Like I think one of the first times I encountered it was the Dungeon World supplement, last life of, damn, I'm drawing a blank on it. It was a really evocative setting because I'll put it up in chat, because like everybody was dead and everybody plays undead, and so dying didn't matter.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Like in the traditional sense.
Right.
What mattered was there was a move where you could make camp, right? And it kind of replicated the save point in the game. Like, okay, everybody, we're at this point, we'll make camp, and if you dropped to 0 hit points and died, you just woke up at the last point where you made camp, but meta things kind of adjusted, right? Like your body started deteriorating, right? And that was really interesting and really evocative. And I think the mechanic captured that sort of gameplay loop of building up knowledge each time you died. And I've also seen it in Spencer Campbell's Rune, which is like a solo game. In that one, like, okay, if you die, not really that big a deal, except all the little minions respawn every place you've been to, right?
Right.
So I'm curious to see if this Bitter Chalice Games does something similar, because that, to me, as a video game outsider, is what the Souls-like experience is.
Right. Yeah, so from the Coming Soon crowdfunding website, so Bitter Chalice offers a complete game system, meticulously crafted areas to explore in and around the city of Valthan, a map that deepens with every step you take, packed with additional content to make each session unique. Yeah, so you're basically exploring in a city, but they really said because of the because of what can happen in there, it's a lot of replayability, which I think is another kind of Dark Souls. You're treading the same ground, but different things are happening. And they're also doing a fully developed solo mode.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, and they do really high quality books, gorgeous art in this one. So take a look at this. And there was also on the Not D&D podcast, the designer. Yeah, that's a really good podcast actually. Enworld does a good job with that. So that's Enworld Publishing. Tabletop Jess does the interviews on there, and she interviewed one of the World Anvil creators, and I just had his name right there. I think it was Tomas, and talking about Tommaso de Benetti, and talked about basically the inspiration, the artists that they found, and everything to do this. So I'll put a link to that in the description. That's definitely worth checking out. A good interview if you're at all interested in trying something new.
I do like podcasts and interviews. I unfortunately have to deal with words a lot and work, and therefore can't listen to anything with words. Right. I have just transcribed this part. Damn.
So Desolate Fantasy with Bitter Chalice. So yeah, I'll put a link, and that's coming soon for crowdfunding. I'll put a link to that. Cool. And that's going to do it for this week. Yeah. So where can people find you?
Not on X, because I've been suspended. Sorry, I just slipped that in there one more time, right? So yeah, Blue Sky mostly, Instagram sparsely, and that's roughly it, right? Hivemind, HYVEMYND, where I'll start gluing little people onto MDF's rectangular boards soon.
Nice.
Right? How about you?
So I'm gonna do a January live
Set a resolution? Yeah.
Yes. So Abuse Cartoons, my single panel gag cartoon, will get a live stream. It'll show up in this channel as well when it happens. And Abuse Cartoons on YouTube and Twitch. And that's happening. So if you like what we're doing here with the weekly, consider becoming a weekling.
The strongest of all supporters.
Yes, on patreon.com/upturntable. Give us feedback about what you'd like to see, and the types of content that you enjoy on the channel as well. So there's different tiers to let us know if you are enjoying the actual plays or reviews, what the lore videos, what types of things you like on the channel. And so upturntable.com is the website for everything, and on all social media, just upturntable. So we'll be back again tomorrow with more Dragonbane, and you'll get to see an armored knight duck and his whole party.
The build thing, not like
no, duck. Okay, no, he's a duck in armor.
Okay,
that's right.
I'm pretty sure armored knights can duck, right?
Who fails a lot of mobility checks, but. We'll see how that goes. So another kind of quick start, kind of probably a single session adventure for Dragonbane. So
cool.
so tune in for that, and we'll see you again next week.
Later, mortals.
Goodbye.
I like how my voice went out right at the end.
So sorry, I didn't check the chat. Is it too rumbly? Too much noise there? Yeah, I didn't turn it off, and we're already recording the noise of it, so I figured it would be good to take out. Who is who? It's just a bunch of sock accounts, right? It's like one person running all these sock accounts on the chat. I knew it. Cool. Yeah, good to see everybody in the chat. Abyss set an alarm clock. Oh, I'm honored that you a refreshing 3 hours and 45 minutes of sleep. Oh no. Sorry, Abyss. That's crazy. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Matt, you sent me that link about the gumshoe-based fantasy setting, the Sword of Serpentine. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I'm curious about the gumshoe mechanics. Nice to see Orcus Dorcas in the chat. Nice. Yeah, Evil Genius. Yes. Yeah, that was funny. I was really surprised to get that email of Dave Scott reaching out, and I saw talking about games and some of the other, like, small tabletop channels they approached, and initially sent us the PDF, and I said, yeah, we're in Japan, so if physical stuff is hard to send, but they sent an actual book anyhow. So that was cool. But yeah, it's difficult. I mean, you got to really thread that needle. You got to work hard to, I think, earn people's trust again, because after everything that people heard about the employees being intimidated and being very frustrated with not being in the loop about where's this money coming from, who's supporting, who's funding the company. Hey Rob, how's it going? Rob in the chat. Nice. Oh yeah, that's right. Tunnels and Trolls. So yeah, we'll definitely want to do some Tunnels and Trolls anniversary stuff this year, and hopefully Rebellion is going to get that version out, or at least do like a reprint or something to to help celebrate. And I think they'll probably be able to do better than Wizards did. Yes, right. Solo gaming masquerading as co-op. Nice. Oh no, Matt says his group lost interest with Frostgrave. That's too bad. Well, maybe that new supplement with hacking and all that good stuff will bring them on in. Yeah, that's so I can't believe how prolific McCullough is. There's always new supplements and things, so keeps creating these games and then keeps supporting them. There's just more setting stuff, more rules and stuff coming out. And from my experience just with Frostgrave and Silver Bayonet and stuff, he's really good at not breaking his games by pushing things too far or adding something that adding a mechanic or something that just throws things off. He's got a really good sense of designing balance in the games, and I think you could see that with the Frostgrave second edition revision. There were definitely spells that you could lean on a little heavily, and it's good to have things balance out. Nice. Yeah, the new owners are Rebellion Unplugged. Yeah, the publishing, the physical publishing arm of basically the company that owns 2000 AD. So we'll see, and so it's a British company, so we'll see if they, if the aesthetic changes or anything. But 50 years old. Yeah, I've got my I got the fulfillment for all the monsters stuff too, so we can play as monsters as well this year. Nice. Yeah, Rob said never played Frostgrave. Yeah, it's a really, really fun. I think the D20, it's a miniatures game that uses D20, and that really, the swinginess of that does make it a lot different than handfuls of D6s and stuff. And because you can kind of pay in blood, pay in HP to bring a score, into from fail to success, it's got some interesting mechanics. So if things like necromancers and stuff, people that can like drain life, you can actually have a little bit of an economy of spell casting and like killing your own minions to get success on the dice. But I really like that. I think initially, I remember when Frostgrave first came out, people were like, well, can we do this as a 3d6 and, kind of, narrow it down a little bit and keep it from swinging? But the D20 does really give you the flavor of that game and the feeling of that game, especially because it's magic. Like, your warband is centered around, your gang is centered around a caster. So magic, and then there's a magic user and an apprentice. So you have two characters that can cast spells at different degrees, and the swinginess of that I think makes for much more fun, and it makes sense with magic being unpredictable. And now it sounds like with these new magic rules that there actually can be horrible things that can happen. I think there was already certain spells you can kill yourself, like conjuring demons and stuff. If you fail critically, I think things could go terribly wrong. But good stuff. Silver Bayonet. I've got some a warband for that and everything. I've gotta give those rules a try. I think there's solo rules for that as well, so you can do something a little narrative. Orcus got an email from Scott and ignored it. I am totally a sellout. Well, I was just impressed that somebody would send a book all the way to Japan. The funny thing too is in my reply I mentioned the Netflix kerfuffle, and I don't think that was a good move. He's like, yeah, we've had some stuff. Okay, moving on. But I totally sold out for this hefty. But look, I can eliminate all of those cockroaches that have been plaguing me with this hefty tome. Yeah, it's just it'd be good if they could come back from that. It really would, but I don't know. We'll see. Matt says, I'm not running that one. Yeah, but it's I think once they were even first talking about that, I thought that was an interesting contrast to what Outgun did, because Outgun did, we know you want to play these, here's a really fun system to play those with, and you can do anything. Like we'll try to give you rules, basically like character sheets. The only things that really changes, like maybe a few mechanics, and the character sheet changes in Outgunned. And we'll let you play, kind of any genre of kind of summer, movie blockbuster you can think of. And so then going out and, what Evil Genius is doing by going out and, getting those licenses, and I don't know. That's definitely the hard way. And the frustrating thing is, I don't think any of those licenses are big enough. It's not Alien and Blade Runner, the kind of stuff that Free League has been doing, or Walking Dead. But we'll see, because it's movies that had okay success. I don't think anything has been a huge, a huge pop culture influence. I mean, like Kong Skull Island, their attempt to make a monsterverse or whatever they called it. Yeah, oof, that's rough. But just run it with a voice changer, yes, from an unknown location. But I definitely want to give a look at the rules, because they're touting it as modern D20, and see what they do. Universal Soldier, nice. Yeah, and I wonder, in the core book too, if they give you anything to kind of support playing an IP, or if they kind of cut enough of it out that you need their supplements, you need those additional books. Yeah, no surprise they do they're doing a digital platform as well. We shall see. Nice. About manually putting. Oh. Manually putting in a gift. Oh yeah, sorry, Abyss. I took a look at that and I couldn't. Yeah, the interface really sucks. So let me. I couldn't find anything that would help me set the manually set the gifting membership tier. I will do that, and I will lower it. Abyss, thank you for reminding me. Oh yeah, no Miguel. Yes. But yeah, it's funny. The trying to recover from especially like your employees, pissing off so many employees. We'll see. Yes, January. Yes, Agent Caroline January cartoon is coming with the snacks and all that good stuff. Sorry, I couldn't get it done this week. This would have been a good week to do it, but yeah. And I guess though. Yeah, maybe I didn't want to do it right after an inauguration. Yes. Orcus says that is Household. Yeah, the first set that they did for Household. That's something. Yeah, we should definitely try. That setting is really fun, and the books themselves are so gorgeous. I mean, beautiful illustration, and just the way they're produced is really nice and heavy too. That's why I have the big steel shelves, because anything else is gonna start leaning over with all the weight. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's still going on. My speaking of like Southern California wildfires, my daughter said there was another, like earlier this week, they were getting more warnings about high wind stuff. That's not good. Not good. Oh, good. Yeah, Orcus is safe. That's good. Yes, there's a lot of parts of Southern California people are like, yeah, that's the weird thing they were talking about. Just quick on the wildfires is the fire insurance companies are canceling policies like just before this kind of thing happened. There's guys be some people that are really wrecked, but when I was there were still houses that were totally destroyed from the like 94, 96, some mid 90s Northridge earthquake. When we were looking at houses there were still houses with earthquake damage that people just couldn't get insurance to pay on, or whatever they were doing with the with that. But there were still houses that were visibly damaged by the earthquake. Yeah, definitely. Orcus, it was not cheap. I was impressed that they sent a physical book. It took a while, so I was worried. But whoever they use for fulfillment, the company they use for fulfillment, they did a really nice job of packaging the book too, because it was all protected. The corners and everything were protected with cardboard. It was really nice, as opposed to the Amazon and some of the cheaper shipping where the book has been thrown on the floor multiple times and then put in the box. And on their custom form, I guess I really suspect, because it's been a lot of the Kickstarter stuff, the bigger pledge stuff that's been hit with the tariffs. I think it's over a certain threshold. They look at it, and I think, like I said before, they've started to just hold stuff. You have to pay the tax before they'll even send it out for delivery. So it used to be they would collect it at the door, but now they're saying, hey, why don't you just pay us online first? We'll see. Nice. Oh yeah, so it's going to either be next week, Tuesday or Thursday. So that'll be Monday or Wednesday in North America. Yeah, so it'd either be the 27th or the 29th for the cartoon stream. But it'd definitely be one of those days. And so the notification, if you're a subscriber on Upturned Table, notification will go out on YouTube for that stream as well. So yeah, it'll happen. Then we'll go back and read everything that I did off stream for this for this month. Yeah, sorry, it just didn't happen. But cool. Yeah. So I've got a couple of books of cartoons and stuff, and I want to finish. I've gotten a little bit of inspiration lately to finish the Citizen Spaceman comic too. Find a way to kind of wrap up the story. So that's 3 issues right now, but I was doing it bilingual, so it's it's 24 pages, but it's like actually 12 pages, like 12 Japanese, 12 English pages. But I think I'll finish it off in English, and if there's a reason to go back, because especially when you do the self-publishing thing, to get the with some of the press websites, the small press websites, for the ISBN, it has to be English language. So I'll just do the whole thing, all the whole story collected as English language. And if you want to see the first one of those, I think Citizen Spaceman is still the website. Let's double check that it hasn't gone somewhere. Yes. So if you want to read the first issue in English, it's up on citizenspaceman.com. I can put that in the chat. But so it's kind of a little sci-fi wandering spaceman story, but kind of a metaphor for like living abroad and leaving your home behind. But I fell out of working on that a while back. That was the book I was taking to the comic shows like the Tokyo Comic-Con and stuff. And the bilingual thing, because you can Japanese reads one way, English reads another, so you can kind of do a book that meets in the middle. So I did like the climax of the story is a big spread in the middle, and either direction that you read it, it ends there. And it was fun to do. It was fun to do the layout in Japanese. That was harder than I thought, but fun to like kind of do two takes on the page. But yeah. And the collected version I'm going to do all color. These were black and white just for the sake of being able to print them through the doujinshi press kind of places. So that will be coming. And maybe I'll do that on stream too. Maybe I'll start assembling some of that on stream. All right, Orcus, good night. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. And telling us how much better you are than us for not falling for the everyday heroes trap. Yeah, funny. It's funny times, definitely. All right. 3 silent lurkers. All are welcome. Yeah, I didn't even check the. Oh wow, yeah, good to see everybody. So back to Dragonbane. I was listening back to the Rittermund quick start. That was so much fun. Even with the pre-gen characters, everybody did a really good job, playing the characters and kind of getting into the spirit of it, because it's mirth and mayhem is kind of the Dragonbane slogan, so it's not to be taken intensely seriously, and because the some of the mechanics are simplified, you are going to end up with like crazy monster attacks and things that you're going to have to prepare for. Seem like you may not survive. Every attack seems pretty deadly, but it'll be fun. Yeah, climbing a tower that's risen out of the sea. What could happen? But but we'll do a little bit of just at the beginning, just for fun, and because we didn't use the mechanics previously, because it was just one session before, is do some achievements, do a little leveling up, and figure out what you guys want to do, because you did recover 2 pretty big magic items from the first adventure. So did you sell them and you can buy stuff with that, or did you keep them because they're pretty useful but also pretty valuable? So you'll kind of have to decide as a party. And if Terry's going to play the wolf, the Bloodmane. We'll have to see what or Bloodjaw. We'll have to see what how that goes, like how that fits in. Hopefully Terry got a chance to listen to the first session to get a sense of things. But yeah, that should be fun. Should be fun. Yeah. Yeah, and this is very similar, Matt. The Sinking Tower is very similar to the Rittermund thing. I think they did kind of a nice job with this as well, and it's definitely meant to be able to play in a session at a convention. It definitely has that feeling, and yeah, this might be a nice way to kind of segue to like make characters and segue into the Path of Glory campaign, or even just do some of the things that were in the starter set, kind of the box set for Dragonbane. Do the Misty Vale kind of sites and lands, just to stretch out on that. Nice. Yeah, so we'll definitely give that a shot. Hopefully that works out. Yeah, my internet's been a little messy recently. It's been mostly at night, so it should be okay in the middle of the day. But yeah, just really on and off. I have a backup kind of mobile internet like access point I can use, so if things go really badly, we can just switch over. And we're using Alchemy, so I don't have to worry about having a port open for you guys to actually play. I really think, I mean, maybe it's just too much expense or not something that they're willing to take on. But the guys that are doing Foundry, they really should have their own hosting, so you can, because that would be a subscription that they could. But maybe it's hard to, make that work, because you do have to have servers and maintenance and do all that good stuff. But then you could have a subscription, but then it might break their model of being a one-time purchase. Yeah, one-time purchase. But if you want to actually be able to play the game, play games, you will have to subscribe to the hosting kind of portion. Yeah, so maybe that's why they've avoided it and let like third parties deal with that, because there's a couple of companies that are hosting Foundry, let you host Foundry servers that are kind of solve the port issues if you're doing it locally. I think it's just my Japanese ISP that is not going to let that happen. Nice. Some age guessing going on in the chat. Nice. So yeah, what else? Yeah, there wasn't really anything. There's so much stuff that's like coming later this year, and it's such early days. There's not a lot of details, because even Blighted Lands, even though I listened to the interview and everything, and they had their little kind of PDF with the system, kind of the abbreviated introduction to the system. Yeah, still it's early days. It's not out yet, and so we'll see. But yeah, so I'll put links to all that good stuff. So what else? Yeah, but there'll be some other things, which is kind of because I'm already getting the promotion for the new new version of the Alien RPG. I forget what they're calling it, but Johan Noor is doing the layout and stuff, and you can tell like he's doing a lot more. There's a lot more going on the covers now. It'll be interesting to see the interiors of those books, if he's going to do the whole layout. Definitely a departure from kind of what they did before, and I want to see what they change. I don't know if I want to buy the whole thing again. So we'll see, because we can stick with the old rules and finish off the trilogy. And they do say that they're doing an updated version of Hope's Last Day with the new system. So that might be a fun one to introduce us to the new rules and stuff. I think they changed kind of the stealth rules and some of the combat stuff. Make it a little groovier. Yeah, thanks, dude. Yeah. That was. Those are fun and nasty. Yeah, those are nasty little adventures. Nice. uh, yeah. So that'll be cool. Yeah. So we'll be back. Be back with some Dragonbane. And what are we doing after that? I don't know. Matt's. Oh yeah, and in case I sorry I didn't mention that on the cast, but the Leastus Mostus, that was really fun. Matt put together a fun little break from our AP stuff. Yeah, I wonder if if we kind of do more graphics and stingers and like make it a little bit more game showy, and then do how they do game shows, like not expand the game too long, but do multiple teams and record multiple episodes in one live stream. Like try to keep it to an hour, because I think it worked pretty good. What we had was 5 rounds worked into an hour, but we usually live stream for like 4 hours. So shoot multiple episodes and just swap teams during the process, if that would work for with our setup. But yeah, really good job on that, Matt. That was fun. And it was like testing your knowledge, but not like going I can almost think of it, because I would definitely be terrible without multiple choice. Yeah, it would be pretty bad to recall stuff. So that worked really well for the older contestants. Yeah, good stuff. Oh, nice. Yeah. So we'll have to figure out, because I think this is definitely the Dragonbane is just going to be one session, and then we can figure out if we want to keep going, because there are plenty of adventures in that in the starter set. There's plenty of adventure sites and stuff to continue. It was frustrating though. Alchemy does kind of pin you down. Like you can set things up really fast and things work really well if everything is in the module. When you're custom doing things yourself, what's that expression? The just making things easy and as easy as possible. They should have more copy paste and duplication and stuff, because what I was noticing is setting up some of the levels, when I wanted to do multiple monsters, you have to import those. So if I didn't build those in a module kind of outside and import those in, I can't do multiples. So I have to like make one each time. So there must be things that, and I might be doing it the wrong way. But for some of the levels where there's multiples of the same thing, I want to be able to track their hit points and stuff separately. But if you duplicate the token, it's a duplicate of the same thing. So if they lose hit points, they all lose hit points. So yeah, we'll see. Oh yeah, Clarion's asking about for the game show. Yeah, letting the both teams choose the same answer. And yeah, so if you do change the scoring, Matt, and like you end up splitting the points, so if you know that's the right answer, yeah. So splitting the points on the mostest correct answer, or choosing the second most right answer and getting more than half the points might be. So if you choose the same answer, you both get half points, but if you choose the second right answer, it'll give you more than half points. Maybe that something like that might be kind of fun. Because Matt was saying the original game that was inspired by is a what was that, like a what is a survey based, like Family Feud. It's based on like out of 100 people, and so the points, you can score points based on how many people so chose a certain answer. And so we didn't have that, so the scores were just based on point values for the round. Biz feels attacked. What's going on? I'm totally missing something in the chat. Nice. Yeah, you lose the tactical aspect of guessing. Interesting. Yeah, we could try a couple of different ways as well, and see what's, basically playtest the game live and kind of change rule sets and see what's more satisfying. And also, get nice feedback from the chat. Yeah, and now I know a bit more about the presentation and stuff. I can work on, doing animating things and making things a little more fun and slick, so it feels a little more game showy. Nice. Yeah, but very cool. Yeah, so we will have to figure out, and basically, because there's two, or I guess, it'll have to be a decision in the group. I don't know how often Andre can join us, and I don't know what everyone will think about doing a longer Dragonbane. We'll see how much they enjoy it. But yeah, we definitely got a lot of content. There's that whole Path of Glory campaign, and plus what we have in the starter set. So we've got a lot we could do. And I can work on some original stuff as well. Kind of cherry pick some of the nice things I did with some of the adventures. But be good. So Matt's gonna about the scoring. I'm gonna do a point for nearest when both teams are wrong. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's right, because we had a couple of those 40K questions. We were all like, That's right. Yeah, that would be good. Like a the nearest without going over. Yeah, that might be figuring out a way to rate that. Which way? Oh, sorry. The closest result, or whatever. Whichever way it would go. But I'm just gonna guess $1 for every question then. Oh yeah, that's right. The Star Trek 2nd Edition starter is out too. Yeah, getting back to Star Trek would be fun too. Yeah, that was Terry's first game with us. Yeah, I'm curious. It'll be fun. I wonder though. Yeah, that's right. We were using Foundry, so we'll have to see what to play 2nd Edition on. Yeah, nothing is completely easy as far as VTT. I really liked Astral. I got really spoiled because I guess it was the first one that I really focused on learning. So it sucks that that's gone, and it doesn't have character sheets, but the Alba Rodeo was really good for throwing stuff together. Hey Abyss, thank you so much. I will lower the threshold for the gifted memberships. Thank you, Abyss. Alex G, welcome. Check out the membership area. Yeah, so community tabs and everything for membership. Very good, very good. Cool. Yeah, appreciate it. Abyss, very kind of you. Yeah, I'll get that. I'll get that figured out. Even if I have to do a deep dive, Google the hell out of what's going on. Yeah, because they just don't make anything in the back end very intuitive. I really don't like that about running the channel. Yes, maybe Alex is with us, maybe he's not, because if you've ever watched one of the live streams, you're on the list. Nice. Yeah, and it looks like, a little bit Twitch. We get the occasional viewer on Twitch, but yeah, very cool. Thanks so much. Yeah, we're up to a lot of viewers. We're getting double digit. Oh my God, double digit viewers on the weekly. Much appreciated. Yeah, and it's amazing because the timing is so bad. The timing, especially East Coast, and then Europe. Abyss, you're amazing. you're denying yourself a lot of restful sleep. I appreciate it very much. But yeah, we will be back again soon. Abyss. Yeah, you're wonderful. You're a really wonderful addition to the chat and the channel. Very awesome. Yeah, so more Listus Mostis and Dragonbane coming at you tomorrow. So yeah, we'll kind of figure out what's up next after we try some Dragonbane. Yeah, oh yeah, I agree with you, Abyss. They sure do make it overly complicated to do anything, and they should have, it should just be very easy to do, like comp memberships and all kinds of stuff like that. They don't even consider it, because how do you get 30% of 0? They're not into that. Yeah, so yeah, in that regard, Patreon's doing a little bit better, but and they've also it seems like they've knocked down their rules about seem to previously have a hard limit on how much space you could use for uploading things, and now they say once you've reached that, just let us know and we'll bump it up. So it's not like they're gonna try to gouge you for it, but they could at any time. We'll see. But yeah, thank you everyone for hanging out with us, and we will be back again soon. So first with an AP, and then with some cartoon streaming, and then again with the weekly a week from now. So thanks. Oh yeah, so we'll have to be careful with Dragonbane with Andre, yeah, because his schedule might not be as easy. So we'll figure it out, and maybe it'll just be, we'll kind of sneak it in when there's a chance. So we'll have this like schedule. Okay, so who can show up? Okay, so we can play this, or this. Okay, so who can show up this or this? Yeah, we'll see. And we've always got Iron Sworn. So yeah, take care everybody, and tune in tomorrow for the sinking tower, and see why it's sinking and what may happen. So thank you so much. I really appreciate the patrons and members. And and Siglo was back as a member on Patreon. Thank you very much for returning as a patron. That's very cool. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. I think I have the name in Patreon. But yeah, thanks so much, and we will be back again next week. Goodbye.
You So